Hey folks, so I wanted to do something a little different today. Now, in a couple of weeks, we're going to get the re-release of the 2014 vinyl mono box set, and I couldn't be more excited for that. I missed it the first time around. I did manage to get each album individually, but there is something that does concern me, and it has to do with some recent releases, and we're talking about the quality control of recent releases. Particularly with the Beatles. Now, I have a few examples here. I'm also going to list a couple of videos in the description with a couple of more examples. But let me show you some stuff. So this here is the We Can Work It Out Day Tripper 45 from the 2019 singles box set. Now, from a distance, this looks pretty good. And the record on here is pressed it's a good pressing and it sounds fantastic. But if you look at the cover carefully, and I don't know if this will show up on camera, but this is like scanned from a low resolution photo. So you can actually see pixels, particularly on the signatures here and then on the title on the top. You can really kind of see the blockiness of the JPEG that they used for this. And I really don't understand why they thought this would be okay, because, I mean, the single was pressed with different covers all over the world. You know, if they couldn't get a good quality photo to use for this, they could have used something else. They could have, swapped out. This is a French pressing. They could have used a French pressing somewhere else and then used another country's sleeve for this so it can look good, but this is what they went for. And this isn't just my set. Every set has this. I don't know if you have a box, but if you haven't noticed it, go look at it. It's going to look like this. And the thing that bothers me is that this isn't just like a mistake. Someone did this, looked at it, and said, that'll do, and then shipped it. And now it's like this forever. Luckily, though, the record does sound fantastic, so... And you know what? All the other ones in the box set don't have this issue. It's just this one. But still, come on. All right, let me show you something else. So this is the recent re-release of Beatles 65. This came in my US albums mono box set. And the sleeve, it's a pretty good-looking sleeve. It has a nice shine to it. It's nice thick cardboard. They didn't try to replicate the old US album sleeves that kind of fell apart really quickly. It comes with a pamphlet. This is written by Bruce Spicer, so it has a nice essay in there. Keep that in mind. Record's fine. It's flat. It plays well. No skips, no jumps, or anything like that. And here is the inner sleeve. It's a replica of the one that came with the record back in the day. The issue is with this. Now, these records were marketed to have these cool new write-ups, and the big mess up in this is that if you look at the third paragraph there where it says, by this time, capitals Dave Dexter refined his formula, yada yada yada, if you see that paragraph there, it repeats right over here. It's the second to last paragraph there. It repeats. So how could someone have let this, do they not, I went to college and they say to double check your work before you submit it. Did no one do this? This is supposed to be a big selling point for these records, and that's a pretty big mess up. And Brian from Needle Meets Vinyl, during his unboxing, his copy of A Hard Day's Night didn't come with the pamphlet. It just wasn't there, and he was kind of confused as to whether A Hard Day's Night came with it because it's a United Artists pressing, or maybe someone messed up his box set. It turned out someone messed up his box set. He had to get another one. But these are just things that you should be able to catch before you send it to be printed out. That's not cool. And here's another example. This is the last one I'm going to show you. This here is the album day release of A Hard Day's Night. This is pressed on white vinyl, and pretty much everything is okay with this. This is just the 2012 pressing re-released on white vinyl, so it's exactly the same as the ones that were released like 13 years ago or whatever. One thing that's really weird is that if you look here, I don't know if I can get it to focus right there, they misspelled insufficient. There's like an extra I and F, and I don't know, that's not how you spell that word. Now this sleeve is exactly the same as the one that came with the 2012 one, but the 2012 one does not have that typo. So I don't know, like, how did they get a typo on this? Don't they just like copy what came out? Like, no other pressings that I have that typo in there. So I don't understand how something like that could, like, this is a 60-year-old record. They've been making these for a long time. So I don't understand why that's there. And it's these kind of little things that make me concerned about the new box set. Like, I hope that they put the type of time and care into reprinting and repressing those records that are going to be expected from them, because you know they didn't sell that well when they first came out. Then they vanished, became almost impossible to find at a reasonable price. The records on their own were at least $100 to $200 on their own if you wanted to get them separately. And then the box sets with the book were selling for up to $2,000. So there's a lot of expectations wrapped around this re-release. There's a lot of people out there who are super excited to finally get their hands on it. And I hope that they're careful and pay attention to, you know, printing these again. And another thing that concerns me is that the only way you can buy this set is through the Beatles store. And I've had a lot of bad experiences buying things through the Beatles store. It's gotten a little better throughout the years, but I've had a lot of bad experiences. So I can't imagine what it's like to have to try and return something to that website. You know, if it was on Amazon, where you can get a return lickety-split, get a replacement lickety-split, then I wouldn't be that concerned about like potential things like I'm showing you right now. But yeah, it has me a little concerned, is all I can say. I'm gonna put a link to this video. A few years ago when the Let It Be box set came out, I did an unboxing, and my copy of the Let It Be box set did not have the Let It Be record in it. It had the Get Back sessions, it had the outtakes, it had that big 12-inch EP, but it didn't have the actual record in there. And you could watch the video from the beginning. There are shots of the spine that shows the records in there from before I open it, and you can see that it's not in there. So it's stuff like that that really has me worried about this new box set. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure it'll be fine, but there's that little thing in the back of my mind that's like, what if they fuck this up? Anyway, that's all for today. It's just a little bit of a rant. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you have the same concerns as me, and let me know if you found anything else with recent pressings that are like kind of crappy. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for watching.